I want you all to know that the clock is ticking.
Educate, empower, enable, impact. Thank you for tuning in to That Will Never Work, an award-winning podcast where we share inspiring information and personal experiences related to business and the entrepreneurial journey from those who are leaders in their respective field. Now, here's your host, author and business coach, Maurice.
Hey, everybody. You know, we are still talking about this idea of paralysis by analysis, over planning, inaction, things like that, even when moments where you feel uncertain. So I had come across this article. It was written back in 2020. And unfortunately, I don't really want to really hurt this young lady's last name. And when I say her, I don't want to mispronounce it. But her name is Julie Scheidegger. It was written January 16th, 2020. The Ewing Marion Kaufman Foundation. And what it is about 8 people who decided that they were going to take a risk. And I found it interesting because, again, sometimes we don't want to take a risk because we're analyzing the full situation, or at least trying to. And so I'm going to read you a few of the excerpts. I'm not going to read it word for word, but I'm going to give you the idea. So there was a gentleman who he was serving as the COO and EVP of a $20 million high-tech company on July the 3rd. On the 4th, he had cleaned out his desk and put a letter of resignation on the CEO's desk. The thing is that it states on here that he had no plan. His natural tendency toward being risk adverse was everything. And his dedication and commitment were significant barriers to leaving the job, not to mention the fact that he had no other source of family income. And so, with that being said, a lot of us get caught up in that. That when we take a look at our personal situation and we pay attention to our position within an organization. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. At one point in time in my life, if I would have heard that you were a COO and EVP of any organization, especially a tech company, I would not suggest for you to leave. But see, here's a point right here where your purpose is greater. It can be greater if you believe. But more than likely, it's greater than what you're currently doing in that situation. More fulfilling. Are you doing what you were assigned here to do? So, in that space, though, as he resigned and moved forward, it says at the age of 53, he started a consulting business and had been self-employed since 97, had not experienced any loss at that time or from that time to now. And that's the other part there. Sometimes we're too afraid of the appearance of loss that it will halt us in our tracks. And now all of a sudden we're not moving forward. All of a sudden we cannot see the forest for the trees or the trees for the forest. So how many of us don't that are still working on our purpose, that's working on our why, that could help better understand where we're going and what we need to achieve? For those of you who are struggling with that, we have a resource for you.
Are you ready to turn your why nots into bold moves? The Well Why Not Workbook is here to guide you. Designed for dreamers, doers, and those ready to make a 1-degree shift toward their purpose. Packed with thought-provoking exercises, practical steps, and inspirational insights, this isn't just a workbook, it's your roadmap to a more focused, fulfilling life. Ready to start your journey? Visit MauriceChisholm.com today and say, well, why not? The Well Why Not Workbook, because your next step starts now.
So we're going to keep on that theme. So within this article, there's a young lady who resigned from a senior management position, and she didn't have another one in place. She had decided to move from the New England area of the United States to the Midwest, and she met some people that she regards as close friends. She had to learn the environment there. She had to learn their traditions, their customs, their ideas and ideals. And then found a job. And by doing that, finding a new job and new scenery and everything else, she had found herself, especially her self-confidence, being increased by leaps and bounds, as this article says. So sometimes our position that we're currently in, and in this case, a lot of this was physical, being in New England, senior management job. She relocates to the Midwest without a job in place. But when she found out that was more encouraging and took more of an impact on her personally. And sometimes we don't understand that we need to change our location in order for us to continue to grow, in order for us to see something else, to feel something else, to experience something else. We need to change our location. Sometimes we expect to have all the answers in one place because a lot of times we don't like change. We don't like to be uncomfortable. And I will admit, in order for, I believe, this podcast to grow even further, I need to get out of my comfort zone and do put my face out. I've been doing it little by little, but I have to be uncomfortable in an uncomfortable space in order for things to grow exponentially. So how many of you feel that way as well? That you need to get outside of your comfort zone. And let's be honest, just doing this podcast alone was outside of my comfort zone just to begin with. And we're on season 6 now. So it's taken me 6 years, right, to process, to grow, to experience, and for me to get to a place where now I say, you know what, let's take it up a notch. I guarantee that each of you out there that's listening, I don't care what position that you're in, you could be a CEO, you could be a janitor, you could be a lunch monitor, a school lunch monitor, or you could be serving on a board somewhere, chairman of the board. It doesn't matter. Each of us has something within us that we still need to unlock, something within us that we need to address. And now is the time to get it done. Because the clock is doing what? It's ticking.
Thanks for listening. Follow Maurice Chisholm on social media to stay connected and check back weekly for new episodes. Until next time, that will never work. Or will it?